FALLIN.
Awesome.
I got my pillow.
We must be ready to go. Welcome back to Book Babble. I'm your host, John Hartness. I am the founder and publisher of Falstaff Books. With me, as always, is my co-host, Melissa McArthur, associate publisher of Falstaff Books. With me all night is Melissa's fucking pillow.
We need to name him Henry.
We're not going to name your emotional support pillow Henry.
Frank?
With our emotional support pillow, Leopold.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Leopold.
Also joining us with an emotional lumbar pillow is Nancy Northcott. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Hi, Nancy.
This is where we are in the evening.
Okay. I like my lumbar pillow.
Good.
I don't have a technique with a pillow. So
I
it's
have not
better if I just
named
lean
the
on-
lumbar pillow.
That's good, because I'd hate to think I was leaning on an entity.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time, I'm
It's
sure.
lumpy.
Well,
But you didn't buy your pillow a drink first, and
No.
consent is unclear, so we gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
lumpy. It's like Gumby, but a pillow.
No, there's a thought.
Yeah. So,
And how many of these have you done tonight?
I ran out of fingers.
I ran out of fingers when I kept showing this one to David Coe.
Clearly, I missed a lot by going to Macaroni Grill.
Oh, God, you went to
Ooh,
Macaroni
yo.
Grill?
You didn't take me?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I'm hungry again.
Well, it's
now.
one of the few places that I know where it is in this
Oh,
area.
okay.
That's true. It is like right around the corner.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Oh, okay.
Right over the bridge, across 85.
Oh, okay.
Not
the-
over that bridge.
Okay, not
Yeah.
over the Leech
But
Bridge.
it's like 5 minutes. to
Yeah.
get there.
Okay.
So, Nancy,
Yes.
what we do here on Book Babble is we ask writers first to tell our audience a little bit about themselves, then to talk about a book that they love from way back, a book that inspired them, a favorite book, and then a book they've read recently that they really love.
Okay.
So let's start with the telling people about yourself part.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty much a lifelong geek girl. I fell in love with comic books when I was 7 years old, but at the same time, I was also falling in love with history and young adult romance. And I like to say that my childhood ambition was to grow up and become Wonder Woman. But I realized that you have to have Amazon jeans for that. It really doesn't work without that.
And those just look like regular jeans.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
I was
are
thinking.
regular jeans. They don't even have like W's on them. You know,
I got a Sharpie around here somewhere.
is it gold? Does it sparkle?
No.
I
Well, there
actually
we
think
go.
might have one in my Happy Planner bag.
Well, but I do need to wear these jeans at environments that are not cons, so we maybe ought not alter
There are
that.
environments that aren't cons?
Yeah, I'm afraid there are.
No.
Yeah.
Oh dear. What are we gonna do, Leopold?
So anyway, I fell in love with science fiction and fantasy, and reconciled myself to not becoming the amazing Amazon. And I guess that's really it in a nutshell. I practiced law for 18 years. I'm really glad I don't do that anymore. 18 years in pantyhose and pinstripes is
Oh,
like
that
that's
sounds
enough.
terrible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
Pantyhose.
That's what
It
I'm
might be
thinking.
worse than gelatinous.
Well, my husband used to complain about having this. I'm just going to say this on tape anyway, and he's never going to see it. But he used to complain about having to wear a tie to work. And finally I said, look, I spent 18 years in pantyhose. I don't want to hear about it until you've done that. I mean, a tie is nothing.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm sorry, I stopped wearing pantyhose when I got tenure, so.
Yeah, I think he would have had to stop before he got tenure, just to be on the safe side.
I don't know, I've met a lot of professors at that school.
Always possible.
So, what is a book that you have read in your life that you really love?
The D'Aulaire's Greek Myths. I checked that book out of the elementary school library in 3rd grade, and I fell in love with the illustrations, and it was my first exposure to Greek mythology. And I checked that book out of the school library as often as they would let me, because I just loved it. And when you graduate from elementary school, they like you to not take books with you. So I kind of had to leave it there. But I was telling my husband about this book. It was the first year we were married, and how much I had loved this book. And I didn't know the D'Aulaire's were like famous illustrators. I just knew I liked this book. And there it was under the Christmas tree for me.
Oh.
So I have a copy.
Well done.
Good job, hubby.
Yeah.
Good job. Well done.
Yeah. Makes up for the whole tie and pantyhose thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, if that's all he's wearing, that's between you two.
That's true. That would be along the lines of classified. I probably shouldn't be talking about it on tape. Oops.
But he doesn't watch our YouTube channel, so I think we're good.
Yeah, he's a proud Luddite. He doesn't watch anyone's YouTube channel.
Then I don't feel so left out. So, what is a book that you've read recently that you really enjoyed?
Almost anything by Nalini Singh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she is brilliant at world building and characterization and the emotional tenor, which is so essential to any kind of a romance novel, is just woven through there.
I wanna meet her one
it's
day.
like she does it by breathing. It reads that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, and a couple of years ago, she wrote a book called Silver Silence that was her first book about shifter bears, and it was so funny. I love that book. I mean, I've loved everything of hers I've ever read, but the bears book is like, people would be talking about how, well, you know, when the bears come into town, they cause trouble, and it's like, well, you know, we put up extra shutters because bears. You know, just like, so because bears was like a saying in the book, and it was so funny. And so of her books that I've read recently, that would probably be my most recent favorite. But then she wrote one that was all about ocean shifters, these different species, and there's a base under the ocean. I'm like, how do you do this? Just, I mean, she's
It's
just
magic.
brilliant. Yeah, it's like magic.
How do you not call the book Because Bears?
I guess probably publishing had something to say with it.
Those assholes. They don't know anything.
I think it's the same reason they didn't call Twister Cow.
Well,
That was my favorite scene in the movie.
that might have been your favorite scene in the
Cow.
movie, but it doesn't give you anything. If you just say Because Bears, you know there's bears.
Well,
Well-
there was a cow in the movie.
Okay, it was a big cow, not very much in the movie.
Okay, fine.
Silver Silence. Silver is the name of the heroine in the book.
Okay.
Who falls in love with the alpha bear. And silence is the system that the Psi gifted race of her 3 races that make up her world adopted to keep their emotions from running amok. And as the series opens, silence is breaking down. And so that's kind of the central theme of the book. So it's probably a little bit better title than Because Bears, but considerably less humorous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody can title books like Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think legitimately no one but Chuck Tingle can title books like Chuck Tingle.
When I was walking up a hill in Edinburgh with Jeannie Adams, and we passed by this pub, and they had a sign out front that said something like, "You want to come and drink here because we have bears." And Jeannie and I looked at each other and went, because bears? And she tweeted it. I mean, Jeannie's like the queen of Twitter, and so she tweeted it out like instantly. But it's like we're thousands of miles from home, and here's
Because
Because
bears.
bears.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because
I'm
bears.
just gonna say that a lot now.
You know, that's kind of normal for where I grew up, though.
What, bears?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought where you grew up it was because meth.
No, we had bears. We had to lock up the trash cans because bears were
Now
there.
that's totally because meth.
No, it's just bears.
Well, did you all see the video that made the rounds on Twitter the other day of these people were trying to drive a bear away from their house with a hose? And the
No.
bear was having the best time. It was jumping up and down and wiggling in the water.
Was it a
just-
Charmin bear? Was it a tiny Charmin clean?
No. Well, I don't know. I didn't get close enough to the video.
Okay.
But could have been. It should have been by the time all
Yeah.
the water.
Oh, have you ever heard the joke about the bear and the rabbit?
No.
All right. So there's a bear,
Yeah.
and he's taking a dump in the woods, as
Okay.
bears
As
do.
bears would, yes.
And a rabbit comes up, and the rabbit says, "Huh, I guess you really do." And he's like, "Yeah. Hey, rabbit, does shit stick to your fur usually?" And the rabbit's thinking, no, not really. So the bear picks up the rabbit, wipes his ass with it.
Yeah, that's
That
a very
rabbit
definite
either
watch
had a
what you
really
say.
bad day or a really good day.
I don't think there's any world in which that's a really good day.
You never know.
I mean,
It
I'm
could
not
be
gonna
a rabbit with a fetish.
I'm not gonna kink
Exactly.
shame the rabbit.
Okay.
And I guess it's a better day than if the bear ate the rabbit.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Don't they eat like berries and stuff?
Rabbits or bears?
Bears.
They eat anything. They're bears. I'm not gonna
Well, I
tell
know
it
they
what,
eat trash. I wouldn't.
I ain't gonna tell it what to do. It's
Well,
a
no,
bear.
I'm just curious. Because, Blueberries for Sal, the children's book, it's about, there's bears
Yeah.
and blueberries for Sal. Because the bears are eating the blueberries that Sal and, I think.
Oh, I
his
thought the
brother are
bear's
trying to
eating
pick.
Sal. That's a very different book,
That
isn't
would
it?
not be a Newberry book.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Old Yeller was a Newberry book, wasn't it? That was sad as shit.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read Old Yeller. I cried at the movie.
I read Old Yeller.
You know what was really sad? Fox and the Hound.
I don't remember Fox and the Hound.
They were friends.
Well, I do remember that part. Does the hound eat the fox at the end?
I can't remember. I blocked it out. It was traumatic.
No.
Leave us a note in the comments if you remember what happened at the end of Fox and the Hound, because we can't. I mean, I can barely remember my own name at this point.
Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, Nancy, what's coming new for you? What's coming up?
Well, there's this company called Falstaff Books.
I've heard of those assholes.
And they're going to release the second book in a trilogy this summer.
Shortly after this releases.
Okay, then. And
It has the best title. I love the title.
The Steel Rose.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is a really good title.
Thank you. I was very pleased with it. And I
The
love
trilogy is
cover,
called The Boar King's Honor.
because it's Richard III themed. And the thesis of the trilogy is that a wizard mistakenly trusted his liege lord and helped his agents break into the Tower of London and murder Edward IV's sons, who were known as the Princes in the Tower. The wizard was racked by guilt when he found out what had happened, and he threw himself on the mercy of King Richard III, who said, the political situation's a little dicey right now. I need you to sit on this till I tell you to say so. And unfortunately for him, King Richard went off to Bosworth Field and met his end before giving him a chance to speak. And so the wizard cursed all the direct heirs in his line in life and death until they proved King Richard innocent of his nephew's murders. And so that's a thread that runs through all three books of the trilogy, and then each one also has a larger plot. In this case, Napoleon's escape from escape from Elba and the build-up to the Battle of Waterloo.
Not the ABBA song. No ABBA songs were harmed in the making of this book.
Definitely, and I'm pretty sure there was no harmony at the actual Battle of Waterloo.
Pretty sure there was no harmony in an ABBA song either, but my wife disagrees.
I'm really
I've been-
confused.
I've been to the ABBA Museum.
Really?
Yes.
There's a museum?
It's in a hotel in Stockholm, which coincidentally is owned by a former member of ABBA. And there's an ABBA museum in the basement and a gift shop.
You're making this up.
I'm
No,
not.
I believe it. At one
Seriously.
point they were offered $500 million to get back together and tour, and they were like, nope, hate those fuckers.
Wow.
Really?
I don't hate anyone that. I don't hate very many people that much. I can buy a lot of love with $500 million. I can buy a lot of love with like a fourth of $500 million.
Right.
Because frankly, I can buy an island and tell everybody else to fuck right off.
Yeah. I want an island.
I want a pied-à-terre in Yorkshire, but I'm unlikely ever to have it.
Aww.
I don't have a $500 million,
I want $125 million.
I mean, I'd take $10.
You've scaled down your bargaining pretty sharply.
Yeah.
We've gone-
She works for Falstaff Books. She knows how much this conference cost.
Can we throw in like pizza?
Yeah, all right, fine, we'll have pizza.
Okay.
Ooh, I know I want pizza. We're
I
gonna go
really
get
want
pizza.
pizza.
You guys come back in a week for another episode of Book Babble and pick up The Steel Rose from Nancy Northcott. You can find out more about that at falstaffbooks.com. And until next time, bye.